Yo, what's up, everybody? We're back. My name is Dave Benoit. I'm the creative director here at GR-MiFi, and you are listening to the Creator Cast. This is the second one we're recording today. I didn't expect to actually record another one, but here we go. We got a new person, which is great. Two people in one day. So before in the previous pod, we had Joel. Joel's back with us today. Can you say what up?
I'm back. Joel's here. What up?
That's your last name again, Joel?
Joel Quiñones.
Yes, Joel Quiñones. And we also have another person back who's been here before. We have Omar. Omar, say what up.
So what's up, everybody? Is this some new music too?
Yeah, so this is the official new music.
Yeah. This song is hot.
You like it?
Yeah.
I feel like it kind of fits the vibe. It feels like technology. Feels like I'm editing the video.
Yeah,
you know?
The beat's nice. Yeah, this is dope.
And we have a new guest today. Can you introduce yourself for us?
Yo, what up? My name is Aidan Boss.
Boss.
Boss. B, 2 A's, 1 S.
I like
The
that.
Dutch last name. Yeah.
That's nice. So you a boss?
Sometimes when I choose to be.
You choose to be. That's what's up. So Aidan, you are a part of Avis Films, right?
Yeah, I do some editing. I do some project management. It's more just a culture I'm a part of, I think. Just a big friend group trying to make it in the film world. So.
Yeah. So explain to me, Omar, feel free to tap in. How did you guys meet? How did you guys start working together?
Well, I feel like the story is a pretty deep story.
Yeah.
Just because his mom was my art teacher.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Okay.
So I knew him through that. But then I also coached his younger brother.
Okay.
The soccer.
Soccer. Nice.
And then me and Aidan started playing soccer together.
Okay.
And that's where we kind of became closer friends just through playing soccer. And
your stories are so intertwined.
Seriously.
Yes,
I love that. No, that's good. I mean, that's awesome. It's nothing. I feel like nothing's better than going into business with a best friend, essentially. Mm-hmm. You know, would you guys get? I don't want to throw that label. Would you guys are obviously close, right?
And then Aidan went to school. You went to school originally for business, right?
Yep.
And then, so how did it end up here?
Yeah, so I studied business in school. And then my junior year of college, I had an opportunity to study away in New York City and got into video. Just really fell in love with the camera. And then I remember that Omar made a lot of video and kind of looked him up and it looked like he had some really dope stuff going on with Avis Film. So I hit him up just for kind of a mentorship, internship kind of thing. And then from there, we just started working together and it went really well.
Okay. And so how long has the working relationship been? Is it a year, two?
About a year, actually.
Yeah.
I think I hit him up last March, yeah.
Okay. And Avis started about 2-3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's 2 years.
2 years. Yeah, man. Once again, man, Omar, hands, you've done an amazing job in the amount of 2 years that you've done, what you've built, the way that you present yourself online, the business. It seems like you guys have great clientele. The work is good. The videos are great. Everyone that I met so far on the team, you guys seem to gel really well. And like I said, I'm very impressed because I started my video company, Mad Ethnic, around the same time you did. And so obviously my life kind of went in a different path, but you're definitely doing what I wanted to do. And it's awesome to see that you're doing that because it seems like you're just working with your friends, right?
Thank you, man. Yeah, no, I think that's exactly what it is. It's just finding good people that I think that's kind of the whole reason why I left the corporate world. Not that it wasn't cool people somewhere. Right. But it was more about just that structure of the corporate world where they want to keep you in the 9 to 5 and they kind of keep you in a box. And I kind of wanted to start building a community of people. And Avis is I started it, but it's become so much more than that. It's just about all the people that are making it what it is today. And, I don't want it to be, it's not just mine. It's all of ours. It's kind of what I wanted to become. And yeah.
That's all. I feel like that's the best way to approach it. That's the same thing I approach with MiFi. So GR-MiFi, it stands for the Grand Rapids Media Film Incubator and Initiative. And so it was started with the idea that there was not enough BIPOC people of color in film. So they see this banner right behind us, Grandstand Pictures. Grandstand Pictures was created before GR-MiFi, and so they were creating a documentary based on a book called A City Within a City, and it's about the Black freedom struggle. A lot of important Black families who like paved way, even changed things in Grand Rapids that are not talked about in history, but it's talked about in this book. And so the guy that you passed in here earlier, Rodney Brown, he's the CEO of GR-MiFi, but also one of the partners and producers for Grandstand Pictures. And so when they set out to make the film, they had the goal of having an all black and brown crew. But as you know, that's really hard to accomplish just because there's so many few black and brown people within, the film industry. And so the funny thing, when they were doing their film, when they're looking up black and brown film production companies and freelancers, like literally there were like two people that popped up. It was I guess I don't know if you guys are familiar with Carbon Stories, right? Yeah. So Carbon Stories, and then just me. And I just started my company around the time that they were looking for people. So it was just interesting. So that's how I got involved with GR-MiFi. Like I started working as an apprentice with Grandstand Pictures and their film, and then they opened up the nonprofit. And I kind of took the same job that I took. So the job that I had essentially with Grandstand Pictures, at first I started doing BTS. And so, but then eventually I became in charge of all the apprentices that were working on the film. So each person who came on the film got to shadow a professional. So at first, like I was shadowing the cinematographer because that's what I wanted to learn. But I ended up like becoming apprentice, or started shadowing their main producer. That they had like a producer that they were working with in LA, and so that kind of gave me in charge of like making sure that people are with whoever the person that they're shadowing, and making sure that they're getting there on time, and just kind of like building relationships with them with that. And so when they opened up GR-MiFi, I kind of offered like a proposition to them. I was running my own company at the time, but I was like, I really love the idea of what this place represents. And so I was like, let me be your creative director. Let me design the program. Let me design the atmosphere that creatives come into when they come into this place. And so it's been about, hey, what's up, Kuzari?
Shout out Kuzari.
But yeah, so like everything in this room, all the rooms that you come in here, everything that you see, how everything's placed, it was curated by me.
Well done, Dave.
Oh, thank you. So everything just has been, like everything about this place is very intentional. And so I really appreciate you coming here today. And I know that you're obviously connected to Omar Ave, so I know that you're a good guy. If you can tell me a little bit more about, so, you talked a little bit about, you went to school for business, and then you fell in love with editing and all this other stuff. Like, are you working full time as an editor, or like, did it take you a while to get there? Like, where are you at right now in your creative journey?
Yeah, so I initially just started editing freelance. I've actually only been like working editing for like about a year and a half.
Okay.
So I like went really into like the YouTube tutorial kind of route, and like really tried to teach myself in DaVinci Resolve.
Gang.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best one.
Yeah.
And then I just been doing it lately. I do a lot of freelance project. I work a part-time job for a nonprofit in Kalamazoo. Nice. It's called the Gilmore Festival.
Okay.
We're bringing a lot of jazz into Michigan. Like
that's
a lot
awesome.
Of big jazz artists. So that's really cool. And I initially I started shooting. Just like any other videographer, I started in all these other aspects. I started shooting. I started color grading, editing, sound mixing, all these different things. And I really just drew myself to editing, because for me it was like the storytelling was like, it was like a challenge for me, because I feel like it's just like you're this last line defense of telling the story, which is so important, right? Because
very much
you can get like, if you look at videos of all these people who shot and all this footage and then it's edited different ways, you can tell a story to so many different ways. And like, especially like I'm really interested in like documentary filmmaking, and like that kind of storytelling for me is like really important, and like how you're portrayed, because that's like this vast audience that you're presenting yourself to is really going to be knowing of your story.
Most definitely. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's awesome. Yeah. That's literally like, so with GR-MiFi, like we have so the way that GR-MiFi works, so it's like it's two structures, right? So we have the community side where we're building people, right? We're building people's creative desires and goals and like helping them build themselves professionally if that's something that they choose, or if they're just, trying to do something recreational. We're just trying to give them a space to do that. But the second set of GR-MiFi is the community aspect. So most of the work that we do is documentary type work, or telling stories, right? We're documenting things that, that have, either been written or things that need to be written. And so it's nice to hear that that's something that you're really passionate about. And also that's something that I feel like, Omar, that you've talked about many of times, that you love crafting stories. And we really appreciate that presence here. And so like, with GR-MiFi, like we kind of try to create this, I would say, feedback loop in a sense, right? Your first perk about being here is that you get access to the space, you get access to a community, right? You get access to a workspace, outside of your home or whatever. And so, but the true perks come in when you put into the community. You work on our community documentaries, you're working on potential community films and things like that. So one of the things I think, Omar, I think I mentioned it a couple of different times, but there is, even though A City and City is a documentary, it's a book based on the African American struggle here in the city, but there is a book in a similar vein to the Hispanic community, and something that we want to work with you in the future. And we're in talks with the people who wrote the book, and we think Ave Film is obviously the perfect people to kind of bring that vision to life. And so, it would be a great relationship in the sense that we'll take all the things that we learned the last, I only been with Grandstand Pictures and GR-MiFi for like 3 years, but they've been in this journey of creating a book into a film for like 7 years. So they'll take all that experience and all those and everything that they learned into helping you, if you guys want to do,
of course, that sounds like a beautiful
to do with this book. And I'm not familiar with the name of the thing, but we'll talk more.
Yeah,
about
let me
it
know
later.
if you have the book. I would love to start reading it if it's already available.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk with my coworkers after about this. I think that would be really cool. So
I was gonna say, even going back to Aidan's point about the editing and crafting the story, how each editor kind of makes it its own. Mm-hmm. I think it's no one person can shoot the same thing the same or edit the same thing. Mm-hmm. So we even had the idea of one day getting a group of us, and we have the same subject or the same idea, and we all have to go shoot it and edit it. And it's almost kept in the same thing, just to see how different everybody's perspective is.
That'd be smart.
How different each person.
That'll be a fun exercise.
How different everybody edits it. It could just be really fun, and it might help us also understand each other and how is it that you like to tell a story.
Right.
But it might be the same story, but how are each of us telling it in our own way?
I'm gonna write that down. I love that idea, because that's something that, especially with Mondays, I would love to create these workshops or challenges in a way to and I think that's a perfect one, just to see even in the idea of just having pre-recorded footage and seeing how people lay their story out, right?
Yeah,
just have 2 or 3 interviews and then a whole bunch of random B-roll and see what people put together. That would be really interesting.
We could even have a Monday for shoot day, and then the next Monday for editing day. Yeah, I would love that. So just because, I want to bring Joel into the conversation a little bit more. So I know you already explained yourself a few different times already.
Yeah, bro, but good.
Explain, introduce yourself to our guests today.
So my name is Joel Quinones. I am a voice actor and an actor. I don't really do a whole lot behind the camera, but I've always wanted to. I feel like I always I see the angles and shit before they get there, and I'm just okay, it's so I've always wanted to be behind the camera and stuff like that. So that's why I'm here, man. I'm trying to get the whole scope of the land.
What got you into acting?
I just started doing voice acting, man. That was my first thing. I just realized that I could parrot almost anything I heard. So then once I realized I could do that, and I was like, oh, you can get paid to do this shit? Okay, bet.
Well, I don't know if you noticed Miguel over there get hyped, but we're always looking for voice actors.
Oh, bro.
We're always
you have found your voice actor.
We're we ended up going, like, I hate to even admit this, but there's one time we ended up using like Fiverr for a voice actor, and like I don't want to do that anymore. Like we talked about, like from now on we want to use local people. You know, I know we talked about like hopefully using Kazari as well for something. But
bro,
yeah, so I'd love to work with you too,
bro.
And like
absolutely,
we get a lot
Send
of
me
opportunities.
Let's go.
Yeah, so think about Joel. Like, me and Joel has been friends for some long time. So this dude had a whole like secret freaking studio in his basement, and like it was always since from the day I met him, he impressed me with his commitment to his craft. And so he's definitely going to be someone that's going to be like a very vital piece, not even just on the voice acting tip, but on creating stories. I know or creating narratives. Like I know we talked about making things with like Kenny, and like I know he wants to make a romantic comedy and all this other stuff. Like I think I feel like all these pieces are kind of falling into place in a way. Like everyone's kind of convening here at the most opportune time. And so I'm really excited to have Joel here. I'm excited to have Aidan here. So like as an editor, like I'm the only editor here. So we're slowly getting other people up to speed on stuff. But I love the idea of someone who's passionate about editing, who knows DaVinci, and can because I don't think I'm the best teacher in the world, but I think it's also just nice to have multiple different people who edit just to kind of see how you do it, because
you learn something from everything.
You learn in it, and I, as you know, because you learn from scratch. I'm a YouTube university kid myself, so I learned everything through YouTube. And so like editing, I know it's a daunting thing when you're first like getting into it. And one of my questions, what is some of your favorite things to edit? I mean, obviously, I think you talked about a little bit about documentary work, but like I started my edited journey with dance videos. So because I'm a break dancer, so I would like make dance videos with my friends. So what are some of the things that like you enjoy to edit?
I really like editing like fast-paced stuff. I mean, like I just said documentary, which is like counterintuitive, but like it's either like I like that long-form documentary, or I really like those like really short like fast reels, or those like YouTube videos that are like really engaging, and like how can I play with like the stimulation of my viewer and like tell a story through like their attention, like their attention span. Yeah, and like one thing that like really, when you were talking earlier about like learning from other editors, I like had this story come up, and this creative that we work with, me and Omar and all of us have, her name's Louisa. She's out of Brazil. Shout out Louisa. There's one time, it was like the coolest thing that I've ever had creatively, and I hope we can have this too, where like I did this edit for like a short reel. And I was like working on it like really hard, like I felt like I was almost like burning out on it. Yeah. And then I sent it to her, and I was like, what do you think? And then she came back to me and she re-edited that shit, and she was like, whew. She's like she's a very good editor. And it was the coolest thing ever, like being able to work with other editors and like, them editing your stuff. And like, that's something that I think is really cool.
And I will add to that, like, so like when I started Mad Ethnic, I had a lot of like clientele, and like I was like accumulating like all these jobs, and like I could capture it, but editing is like, it's another beast. And like one of the things I did find out, like having someone pre-edit something for you, and then like, cause like they lay the foundation, right? You give them all the pieces, they lay it out down, and then like just having someone else do that pre-editing piece allows me creatively to really like do whatever the hell that I want, because I feel like I'm ADHD, so like getting started, it's like the hardest fucking part. I've definitely experienced a similar thing where like I hired one of my friends just to do like a pre-edit, and then like once they gave it to me, I love what they did, but they just allowed me to add the little spices on top, the paprika, the little, all the extra things on top. And like I can imagine for her in that experience, like you were probably burnt, like you said, you were burnt out of it, but for her, it was like so refreshing, because it was for her, like she was able just to kind of like pick up where you left off. And I feel like that's like my favorite videos I've ever worked on, in the sense, like they usually come with that kind of component, is like having like an editing partner in that aspect. And I think that is exciting. I think like I would love to work with you and see what kind of things we could make. And like, I'm not sure. Like I've seen a lot of the Aves videos, but I'm not sure maybe something you may have worked on, or maybe something I've just seen Kenny's work. Omar, I'm not sure what I've seen that's of your work, but I've seen so many of the videos in Omar and Aves. I'm just Aves in general. Like you guys make quality work, like really, really do.
I think it's been like. You would have to like give us a specific video to tell you.
Who did what? Yeah,
a lot of them has been Aidan or me or Miguel.
Yeah,
it's a lot. Like, kind of the workflow. Kenny does a lot of the shooting and a lot of the color grading. And even actually, no, we all do a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
honestly. So I shoot. There's times that I shoot. There's times that I edit.
So
there's times that Miguel edits or directs.
Something shoots. That happened recently. So what was the process like of you guys working? I think you guys did some videos with Ottawa for the basketball.
He's Kentwood.
Yeah, I wasn't in on that.
He wasn't in that?
No.
Yeah.
No, that should look dope.
That looked really good. So what was like the process of like that? Because I seen like so the those, BTS.
Yeah, those were just, so we're super excited about this one. It's probably like the project that I've been the most excited to do. So we're still in the, I guess, production phase. Yeah. But this is going to be a big commercial we're doing for Kentwood Public Schools. We were working with Miguel and Kenny and Rico, who's been actually a huge part in this.
That's awesome.
But we're building a 60-second high-end commercial to tell the story of Kentwood. And Kentwood is like, I'm super passionate about Kentwood, where I went to high school, and I moved here without knowing how to speak English, and they gave me a place to like learn the language and being comfortable, and I got to see a little bit of the whole world in one building. So through that, I'm super thankful for that. And now we get the opportunity to tell that story in a commercial. So we first started by like gaining perspective of as many alumni as we could. We gave that to Rico and Miguel. They worked on the script. Then we all met together and worked on the concept. Came together. Okay, now we have the script. How do we want to actually have it look visually? And one of the scenes that we wanted to get was a girls' basketball game. So we originally thought boys, but I'm like, man, the girls, they're dope, and they don't always get.
They're historically dope.
They're historically, they're hot. The energy in them games are crazy.
Yeah, and they don't always get the love that they deserve. And the girls' team was like third in the state at the time that we were like looking at it. So we were like, we're gonna do the girls.
That's what's up. Yeah.
And so that was the one scene that needed to be. All the other scenes are gonna be controlled. That's the only one that we needed, like an actual live game,
right?
To get the live, get the crowd, get the people, get the coach, and So those were the first couple scenes that we shot of the commercial. And that one we had Nash and Kenny as DPs. Me and Miguel are directing, and Rico is kind of like the producer, creative director.
Okay. Yeah, like I seen like there was like the initial BTS video, and then I saw like another recap kind of thing video that you guys did, but you guys did such a great job of like capturing the energy of like their games. And I really love that. And to know that that's just a small piece of a bigger project. And you said, you guys, there was a phase where you were capturing like alumni. So was there just like interviews that you were just interviewing?
Yeah, I think I kept it super simple. I forget what I said. I just asked people to answer, what does Kentwood mean to you? That's all. Like I didn't say anything more. There's no other. That's the only question. But people's responses were like paragraphs.
Okay.
What Kentwood meant to them.
Okay.
And then we kind of use that because Rico.
Oh, it was like written?
It was written.
Okay, written.
So I just asked them, and I put it all. I like texted a lot of people. Actually, it was just like text, email, Messenger, WhatsApp, just a little bit of all. And then I collected, I'll put it in a Google Doc and gave it to Rico and Miguel.
Okay.
Just so they could understand what Kentwood means to people.
Okay.
And Aidan went to Kentwood too. He's another
Kentwood
did? Grad.
Hey, that's what's up. Okay.
So we got a lot of Kentwood people on our team, but yeah.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Yeah. Thank you for, letting some insight on that process, because it's just really interesting to me, because as we GR-MiFi, I'm working currently on a documentary right now, like a mini doc, and so they're like there's a whole bunch of stories that are in this book that we're not covering, because there's over 40, 50 different stories in this book, and so the main film itself only covers like 4 or 5 of them. So it's our promise to the community that we're going to canvas the whole book essentially, and so I like just to have a little bit insight of how you're planning, your approach to making a stock, essentially this short kind of ad doc on Kentwood. You know, it makes me want to like approach, you know, some of these other different stories that we have in the book. And so Aidan, one of the questions that we usually ask people, you know, when you're starting a relationship with GR-MiFi and the community that we have, we like to ask you, like, what is a 3-month goal that you have and a 6-month goal? And the reason that we ask these things is, one, it serves 2 different purposes. So one, you know, it just kind of helps us bookmark something for you. So we check in. And then we also like to help you keep accountable to those goals. So like there's someone that's gonna listen to this over and put this in the sheet, and like you're gonna be in like an Excel sheet, like, and people will call you and email you like, yo, like how's this going? You know what I mean? So, what is like a 3-month goal that you can have and a 6-month goal?
I'd say a 3-month goal is to be able to. I want to work on another film. Mm-hmm. If it's a short film, if it's a mini doc, I want to like at least be in like far along in the process, like if that's in like stating pre-production or that kind of thing. A 6-month goal that puts you in like the fall, right?
Yeah.
I want to start vlogging.
Let's go.
I don't know. I just like
I like that. Yeah.
I feel like you gotta start.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like it's not more of like
I fuck with that,
because like I've been like thinking a lot about vlogging lately because I feel like a lot of like the atmosphere around it is like a cockiness, but like I feel like the way that I would want to do it is almost for myself,
right?
Because like a lot of times, like when you, especially like as we all know in like a freelancer world, like sometimes you have to make videos you don't love.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But if you can find videos, and if it's that vlogging or if it's doing films like you are that like you still love to do, like it kind of like helps keep that that love for editing. So.
And you need like so like there are a lot of like different, I would say like creative bloggers that I like subscribe to on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so like I've always like I have videos. I have like so many videos of myself that I haven't put in together for vlogs.
Me too.
But it's like I get the idea of like I think there is something about like documenting your own life, right? Because we all have a movie in us, right? Mm-hmm. So then like at the same time, like it's like creative video journaling, right? And it's like artistic because you're also painting at the same time. So you can do so many different things with it. You could add stop motion to it. You could add, you know, voiceovers or poems. Like there's so many ways you can layer it, and it's just interesting. And I think like, you know, like you said, like we live in a world where we constantly kind of have to do stuff for money. So it's like just to have something for ourselves is so important. Like, I'm going to ask around the room, like, what are some things that you guys do for yourself? Or if you haven't found the time to do that, what is something that you want to do for yourself? So, Aidan, I'll start with you and we'll go around the room. But yeah, so vlogging's one, but if there's another.
I mean, like, I like playing soccer and working out. I think that's really important, especially as a creative, because it kind of keeps your mind going. And meditation. I've really gotten into meditation lately. It's kind of like that nice break from like a stimulus world that like you're constantly getting TikTok, all this stuff. Like giving your brain a break, I think is really important. So that helps me.
I agree. Yeah, I'm definitely big into the meditation kick. I need to do more of it. Omar?
I agree with the eating, meditation, playing soccer, is kind of things that allow me to like disconnect from it. The things that I've been wanting to do for a while is I really want to get into like learning an instrument.
Yeah. Let's go.
Right now what I'm thinking is electric guitar.
Let's go.
Let's go. That I want to do. I also want to paint. I want to paint and draw. And kind of get more into like creative things to do at night instead of just watching TV or like playing FIFA.
Right. I mean, just throw some records on, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we could have a crate night, man. Like,
yeah. Oh, I'm down.
So like, I got tons of art supplies and shit, and I do got a good electric guitar that I barely touch, but you know.
But I do also want to, just video wise, I want to find a way to tell, like, kind of do what you said, like make videos for fun.
Yeah.
I always have a million ideas of videos for fun that I want to do. So it's like, man, at least one.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, I'm really hoping, like, maybe like as we continue to meet here more, like we really help each other and keep each other accountable. Like, yo, like everybody, like record yourself doing something. And then
that's so important,
right?
Like being able, like, camera comfortable. Like that's huge.
And then like next Monday, like let's all just sit down and just like edit or whatever. You know what I mean? Joel.
Yeah, man, I feel like it's on the same tip. Just like meditate, workout. It's definitely things I want to have time for now that I have windows at night where I'm not, with the fam. I think just getting down in the studio again, man. Just laying something down, whether it's something funny, something informational, something on an accent type thing, just anything to flex that creative muscle is just what I need to do.
I think you need to start watching some Top Boy. You ever watch some Top Boy?
No, what is that?
So Top Boy is like a Netflix series where it's like,
I don't have Netflix, bro. They once they cut off the
they don't allow you to share, bro.
Well, so I guess if you just look up Top Boy clips, it's just the accent. I think you're gonna like.
Yeah, man. I need to.
Do you have a favorite accent?
Widen my accents. Yeah, so I've got several accents that I like to do. I just like to bust them out random times. I like the UK. Really, I feel like the UK is where I'm most comfortable.
Yeah, so UK Top Boy
in that area.
Yeah, it's in that area. It's more gangster, so it has like a lot of like the like some of the slang words. But I think you'll like really fuck with that.
Yeah, bro. I feel like any of those movies, Snatch, where they talk like super fucking choppy like that. Yeah,
yeah, bro,
that's like I feel like I'm British, bro. Like I wasn't supposed to be a Puerto Rican dude, bro. Like for real.
Yeah, dude, he was doing like you gotta listen to the other pod when we eventually post it because he was doing some on there too. Like he's got some shit on his belt, man.
Man.
Yeah, Joel's the shit,
reach
man.
into the bag, bro. I try.
So damn. Well, it looks like so before we end this pod, does anybody have some questions for Aidan that may popped into mind? Or anyway, I got questions from you, Aidan. You got any questions for me about the space?
Not that we could. I mean, they're going to be pretty long questions. I know we got a time limit here, so
Yeah. Okay.
I'll hit you after the pod.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, shit. Let me cue up this outro music. All right. So, thank you so much, Aidan. I really appreciate you coming in today, and I'm excited to see how we work together in the space. Omar, thank you for bringing your crew in. The video production club is something that I was stressing out about, and because I do so many projects, and so like I wasn't able to like bring as many people or invest in like recruiting people as much, and I've been doing it here or then, but like it's like literally since Kenny's has been here, like it's like we've got like 6 of you guys coming here.
Shout out Kenny though. It all started with Kenny.
I know Kenny's the man. Shout out to Kenny, man. But yeah, I really appreciate you bringing your crew in here. Everyone that you bring in here brings such a great energy, and it's what GR-MiFi needs. And Joel, thanks again for
always, anytime, man. This is my new Monday night, bro.
It's your new Monday night?
Yeah, it's my new Monday night.
Yeah. So I might have you, like I said, like even though I'm the main host for this is all. Any of you guys can host this. So if I'm not, I would love for you guys, if you had an idea for a pod, like I want you guys to come in here and do it. So keep that in mind. Like keep that in mind. With that, everybody, I'm Dave Benoit. This has been the MiFi Credit Cast, and till next time.